Welcome back to Focusify. Today we're talking about something that sounds positive but often feels heavy: self-awareness. People say, be more self-aware, it will change your life. But many listeners tell us the more aware I become, the worse I feel. Wahid, why does something so praised feel like a curse for so many people?
Because no one tells you the full truth. Self-awareness doesn't start with peace. It starts with discomfort, and science actually supports this.
Let's start simple. What is self-awareness in scientific terms?
In psychology, self-awareness means the ability to observe your own thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Your brain is not just thinking, it's watching itself think. Scientists call this metacognition. It's like having a camera inside your mind. Now, here's the important part. Most people live on autopilot. Self-aware people turn on manual mode. Manual mode is powerful, but exhausting.
Why does it feel mentally tiring?
Because self-awareness activates the prefrontal cortex, the thinking, analyzing part of the brain. Studies using brain scans show that when people reflect deeply about themselves, this area works harder. More thinking equals more energy used. So when someone says, "My mind never stops," that's not weakness. That's an overactive awareness system.
So is ignorance actually easier?
Biologically, yes. When you're unaware, the brain saves energy. You react emotionally and move on. Self-aware people pause, analyze, replay, and predict. That's why two people can experience the same problem. One sleeps peacefully, the other lies awake thinking, "Why did I react like that? What does it say about me?" Same event, different level of awareness.
Is overthinking linked to awareness?
Very strongly. Psychologists say self-aware people notice patterns. Patterns in relationships, patterns in failure, patterns in emotions. Once you see patterns, your brain tries to solve them, but not everything needs solving. That's where anxiety begins.
Many people say they constantly talk to themselves mentally.
That's the default mode network of the brain. It activates when we're not focused on the outside world. Self-aware people spend more time there. Example, you make a small mistake at work. Someone unaware forgets it in 10 minutes. Self-aware person replays it, analyzes tone, intention, meaning. The brain treats thoughts like problems, even when they aren't. Why does awareness make emotions stronger? Because you stop suppressing. Research shows that people who avoid emotions feel less pain short-term, but more stress long-term. Self-aware people feel emotions fully: sadness, regret, fear, responsibility. That honesty hurts, but it's healthier.
Why does guilt show up so often?
Because awareness creates moral clarity. Once you understand why you behave a certain way, excuses disappear. Example, before awareness, I'm angry because people annoy me. After awareness, I'm angry because I feel insecure and unheard. Now, repeating the same behavior feels heavier. That gap between knowing and doing creates guilt.
Is anxiety common among self-aware people?
Yes, studies show that high self-monitoring is linked with anxiety disorders. Why? Because awareness expands possible futures. Your brain prepares for what could go wrong, how people might react, what it means about you. Preparation is useful until it becomes fear.
Why do self-aware people often feel disconnected socially?
Because they notice subtext. They don't just hear words, they sense tone, intention, emotional gaps. Casual conversations can feel empty. Surface happiness feels fake. This creates loneliness, even in groups.
Where does it go wrong?
When awareness becomes judgment. Healthy awareness says, "I noticed this pattern." Unhealthy awareness says, "This pattern proves I'm flawed." Neuroscience shows self-criticism activates the brain's threat system, increasing stress hormones like cortisol. That's why awareness can feel painful.
So why does it feel like a curse, not a gift?
Because you can't lie to yourself anymore. Distractions stop working. Comfort feels temporary. Awareness removes emotional shortcuts. Growth is slower, but real.
Do people quit self-awareness?
Yes, in the discomfort stage. Psychology shows growth happens in phases: awareness, emotional discomfort, adjustment, integration. Most people stop at stage 2 and assume awareness is harmful.
What's the long-term benefit?
Better emotional regulation. Studies show self-aware people eventually make better decisions, choose healthier relationships, recover faster from setbacks. The pain is temporary. The skill is permanent.
How do people make awareness healthier?
By pairing it with self-compassion. Research by Dr. Kristen Neff shows compassion lowers stress and improves resilience. Awareness without compassion equals punishment. Awareness with compassion equals growth.
Should self-aware people act more?
Yes, action grounds the mind. Behavioral psychology shows doing reduces overthinking. You don't need perfect clarity to move forward.
Is perfectionism a problem here?
Very much. Perfectionism keeps the brain in threat mode. Acceptance calms the nervous system. You don't grow by fixing everything. You grow by understanding.
Why do many people avoid it?
Because awareness demands responsibility. It removes blaming habits. Not everyone is ready to face themselves honestly.
What would you say to someone overwhelmed by awareness?
You're not broken. Your brain is learning a new way of processing life. This phase feels heavy, but it means growth is happening.
How does awareness finally become a gift?
When observation becomes calm, when judgment fades, when understanding replaces control, that's when awareness becomes wisdom.
Final thought for Focusify listeners?
Awareness feels like a curse because it wakes you up, and waking up is uncomfortable before it's freeing. Don't rush the process. Clarity always comes before peace.